What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 10, Episode 17, The Streets of Talking. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the video so I can stay in the algorithm, all right? Only thing I want to say is I hope we do not get another break. We don't need another break. I'm hoping that this episode don't go into 30 something episodes. We need to be wrapping it up for whatever 3-part reunion that you're going to have. Yeah, we can do without. We can really do without. All right. So the episode starts. There is this montage of multiple conversations about what has happened with Chris Fletcher. So the first people we pan to is Letitia and Marceau. Letitia is talking about, oh, did you hear what happened with the Fletchers? And it's just like, Tisha, please, because you are always mad when somebody speak on what you and your husband have going on, especially social media. I cannot talk like her, but especially everything that happens on social media. But you're always in everybody else's business. But whatever. This is what we're doing. This is reality TV, and we got to be in somebody's business. So we saw Kimmy and Maurice talking. And then we saw Destiny talking to someone about it, but nobody went into full detail. So we actually start the scene off with Trisha visiting Letitia. So they're having to sit down. They haven't seen each other in a while. Tisha asked, talked to Trisha. She was like, well, Kimmy told me your son was in a car accident. And Trisha said that, she said yes, and she said he's doing much better. We saw a picture of him in the hospital with the brace on his neck. He was just flat down on his back. She said that he has a lot of bruises, but everything is changing. She said what frustrated her were the doctors and the nurses, and that's because they kept talking to her about the car damage. And Trisha was like, listen, I don't really give a damn about the car damages. I just care about my son. Fine. And I hate that for her. I actually like Trisha, y'all. I really, really do. So Letitia asked Trisha if she's spoken to Nell. Trisha said no. And she was like, Tisha said she thought her and Nell was going in a better direction. And I'm just thinking, did I read something wrong? Because what happened? Like, are you saying that to say that something has happened between y'all? Or are you just saying that to say me and Nell are in a good place? Because I feel like Nell lives rent-free in your head. Like, she is the person that nothing could be literally going on. She'll create a scenario and it'll get bigger and bigger on her, in her mind, instead of just having a conversation with the person just to kind of clear up some things. I don't know what's wrong with that lady, but Tisha, I'm really trying to do better in my videos, okay? I'm trying to get monetized, okay? It was 5 minutes in the damn video and you was pissing me off, okay? And that's all I'ma say. So anyway, Tisha then said at the winery, she said everything at the winery was a lot, not only with Nell but with Destiny. And I was like, but you low-key kind of started all of this. And Destiny apologized to you at the winery, and so did Nell. So why are we here now? And she was like, well, because we hadn't talked about it. Didn't y'all talk about the shit at the winery? So Tisha said Destiny was defending Nell at the winery and it hurt her feelings. So it's not okay, even though Destiny did not defend Nell. But this is my question. It's not okay for Destiny to defend Nell, but it's okay for Pump It Up to come and defend your ass at every turn. We have seen Wanda do this over and over. And I like Tisha. I really, really do. But something is really wrong with that girl. Like, I don't understand. Tisha is very one dimensional, and the rules don't apply to her. The rules apply to everybody else except for her. On the other hand, I'm gonna give her. I would like to give her some grace, but in this sense, I don't, because again, Letitia is a one trick pony, and we have seen this. We have seen this over and over. So, what if production told her you need to shake it up just a little bit more, and that is exactly what she's doing? I'm not gonna give her no grace, but I'm saying these things could happen. That's all I'm saying. So, Trisha talks about her and Ken and how things are still rocky between them. But Tisha told Trisha that someone told her that Ken be in other women's DMs. And Trisha was like, really? And I was like, you had to be the bone carrier to bring that to Trish, right? You just had to be the bone carrier. But if somebody come to you and say, that was Marceau on that picture with that big ass back, baby, you gonna be mad. Okay, you gonna be mad at everybody, and you don't like everybody talking down on your marriage. Okay, but you gonna bring this lady this piece of information that may not even be true. It may, cause Ken ain't shit. I mean, yeah, Ken ain't shit. Okay, but however, you had to be the one. But Trisha's supposed to be your girl. But I get it. You gonna ride for your girl. You gonna tell her, hey, listen, somebody told me that your man your man be hopping in these women's DMs. So fine. So we get over to Nell and Big Fletch. Okay, when I tell y'all, I think Fletch is so. I think Fletch is fine. Okay, I live for the silver fox of it all. The silver. If Fletch wasn't the age of my father, and my father is gone, I would be like, come over to my house, Fletch. I know Nell ain't hitting that right. Okay, so I'm just saying, that's a fine older gentleman. Okay, he just, anyway. So life has been busy around the Fletcher home. Okay, the daycare director is no longer with Nell's daycare. She's gone. Nell said that they have 2 grandbabies, and the grandbabies have been spending a lot of time at Nell and Fletcher's home, which means Nell is caring for those grandbabies, I guess, while the parents work or whatever is going on. Nell has stepped in to help out. We also found out that Nell's dad is living with them, and Fletch asked Nell, have she talked to Lance? And has Lance been around? And Nell's reply was, Lance is too busy, and Lance feels like, maybe Chris needs to step in. And so Chris was like, so he think I need to step in because my real estate license was revoked. And I was like, okay, this is what's happening. That is why everybody was around there talking. His real estate license has been revoked. Okay, and if you can step in and help Nell while you're at a standstill over here, you should be able to help your wife, whatever is going on around the daycare. I'm just saying that would help her out. Okay, or you can hire somebody, but maybe y'all funds aren't as lucrative as it was post. Is it pre the revocation? Okay, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, Chris said his license is under investigation and his lawyers are on top of things. He said that he cannot discuss the situation until they get to a resolution. Okay. So Nell said that his license being revoked is the biggest chunk of money out of their income. Nell said, she's overloaded and nobody sees it. I think everybody see it. I think you just need to drop their load. I don't even think a lot of times is Nell's load. I think she's constantly carrying other people's load because Nell is a person that wants to be needed. She's one of those people, and she feel like if she's not needed, she's nothing. But when she's being utilized, she complains about it. People like that do this all the time. This is their pattern. When they're no longer useful to other people, they are very upset about that because their mission in life is to serve. And their mission in life is to help other people, even if it's at the expense of their own health, even if it's at the expense of their own personal time, their money, whatever it is, especially when it's their family. I don't know. Stop doing that. So since Chris isn't walking around, emoting out loud and visibly, Nell is like, well, do you really care? And so Chris was like, yeah, but I'm not gonna sob and I'm not gonna stress out. And Chris got in his confessional, and he said when he's stressed out, he's not, I'm not gonna cry or show us that I'm not gonna cry, which shows as a sign of weakness. He says he's not gonna do that in front of the family, right? So he feels like, because if he's upset and crying or carrying on or being emotional, he said then his family will look at him and they're gonna wonder, like, what are we going to do? And I was like, that's a lot of load to carry. Like, that's a lot of load on your body to carry. And to carry silent stress, that is a whole lot. Okay? That's why I say, listen, Fletch, I know you married, and I don't like married people no more. Okay? No more. That was a long time ago when I was young and dumb. Okay? But in this case, all right, call me 777-9311. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm playing. Okay, I am playing. Anyway, Nell and Chris I do feel like they're carrying a lot of weight. The problem, like I said, with Nell, she cries and then she picked those same bags up after she's finished crying instead of just letting everybody fend for themselves. And Chris is more, he internalizes everything. And it's like, ugh, that's a lot. So Nell is concerned about, since all of this happened, so now she's concerned about the money coming from the daycare. And I was like, Nell, now girl, your man is in trouble, girl, and you're gonna have to use the money that you're making from the daycare. It's gonna have to go here, and then you're about to open Ponies and Posh, and I promise you, I don't think that's the name of her boutique that's coming out. And it was something else that they had. They have a cleaning business. So, I'm sure that they have to pay people, because I'm sure people are like working for them, or they may have their kids working for them. I'm not for sure, but a lot of the money is going to have to be pulled from those places in order to take care of the things that needs to be taken care of. I don't know. So Chris asked Nell if she ever thought about having a partner. Nell was like, hell no, because I know how to run my daycare with my eyes closed. Well, now, if you know how to run your day, but I get it. You still need a program director. You can't run a daycare and deal with the program that happens within the daycare. Okay, I assume that's a lot, being the owner of the daycare. That's a lot. And I'm pretty sure your line, because everybody knows you, people come, to your facility. I don't know. So I feel like in this moment, Chris low-key tried to play in Nell's face, and Nell was like, you're trying to make it seem. I just don't think he was. I think Nell wasn't really understanding where Chris was coming from. I don't know. But it did feel like a little bit Chris was kind of playing in her face like he didn't know what Nell was talking about. And good and goddamn well, what that lady was talking about. So, listen, y'all know when people are in need, I am here to help. So if you are an RN that lives, Huntsville, somewhere in Alabama, or you have a multi-state license, okay, that is unencumbered. If we can pull you up on Nursey.com, Nursey, yes, on Nursey, okay, and your license is active, your RNLV, well, I don't know, it's some things that some people can do that some can't do. But if you are RN case manager, okay, go on and DM Nell. If you have experience at the daycare sector and you are located in Huntsville, Alabama, and you have experience as a program director, DM Nell. If you like kids, preferably her grandkids, okay, if you are somewhat like Nanny McPhee, and you know how to relate to the kids, and you ain't around there beating on them kids or touching them kids, and you ain't got no PDF file on you, or you ain't thinking about being a PDF file, because everything starts in the mind. Or if you have not been PDF filed in your life and you truly have a heart for children, go ahead and DM Nell, because she need a nurse, a program director, and a nanny. Okay, call Nell, because my girl over there struggling. Okay, she need help with her daddy, she need help at that daycare, and she need help with these grands. All right. Anyway, on to the foolishness that is Kimmy and her pampered husband Maurice. Okay. I'm so damn dramatic, but Kimmy said she wanted extra downtime before things pop up, start popping for the summer, like school and MJ, Maurice Jr., getting situated for college. So Maurice was like, "Are you excited?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm excited about Maurice Jr. going to college." This lady has been taking care of Maurice Jr. ever since he stepped into the door. Maurice Sr. hasn't done anything. Maurice is an idiot. I wouldn't have never thought when we first met Maurice that we will see this. Okay? Now we can't unsee it. Okay, we can't unsee it. And then it was the flashback of him being on Carlos King talking about he have to have schmecks, but Kimmy just kind of muscled through. Girl, what? Oh my God. So Maurice said that they'll be in a house all by themselves, so they have to see if they really like each other. And I'm just like, for you to bring that up after being with this woman for 7 years and being married to her for almost 7 years, or at 7 years, I don't know, that says a lot. Okay, so you figuring out whether or not you like this woman, like, I feel like this is all you, and I feel like this is how Maurice feel. You're contemplating whether or not you like her. And Kimmy always takes this moment to smooth the things that you can hear exactly what he's telling you. He's literally telling you. And she takes these moments, and she said that they will benefit from the alone time. Okay, Kimmy. So they both said in their confessional that therapy is working. She said she had time to process the comment that he made about her being happy with or without him. Maurice's response to that was some stuff just come out. And she was like, and some things shouldn't. He asked, should not have made that statement. Sir, no, you should not have made that statement. You knew what you was doing. You always know what you're saying. Always. I think Maurice says a lot of things intentionally. And because I know he knows that Kimmy is going to clean it up. And she's going to excuse his negative behavior towards her. And that's what he does. He plays word games a lot. And I really just can't with Maurice. I like Maurice. I just don't like his disrespect towards his wife. And I think for that's what takes a lot of cool points away from Maurice. Like for me, Maurice is at a negative 30. I know that number was so childish. But it's just the way he really goes out of his way to be cruel. And he does it in a way where he's trying to still sound like the nice guy. His tone is, I'm going to be nice. But he knows that his wife isn't stupid, i.e. Tisha. And he knows that he cannot get over on her. But he tried to play word games with her because he knows that Kimmy is smarter than him. But we often know that Kimmy acts like Maurice is smart. I don't know. It's so much. And I just, hey, if Kim, you know what, y'all, if Kimmy like it, then we can't be mad about it. We can't be no madder than Kimmy is. Anyway, Maurice, I feel like he's not thoughtful. And I just want her to be an asshole to him. Stop trying to coddle his feelings, because this is what Kimmy does all the time. She coddles his feelings, and he continues to be an a-hole to her. The way he's acting, he's really sitting there acting like he have to learn how to be nice to his wife, when he said she is probably one of the nicest people he have met on this planet. You go out of your way to be cruel to her. And y'all, and I tell y'all that is so triggering. You have one time to go out of your way to be cruel to me. I am out of there. And I'm not telling y'all what I heard. I'm telling y'all what I done. You got one time. I've heard people say to me that, and it's not about me, but I just wanted to say this. I heard people say to me that, well, guys, they will say to me, you never want to stay when things get hard, because you're not about to make my life hard, and I never make your life hard. Okay, you can go to hell with that. You got me fucked up. Okay, you're not finna take all my energy, you're not finna zap all of that. Okay, I'm a grown ass woman who would not, and I promise y'all, would not be put through stupid shit just for the sake of struggle love. Y'all can go to hell. Thank you. Anyway, Destiny. All right, listen, I was here for Destiny and Destiny's storyline. Okay, I can't wait to see that mama of hers. But, let's just run it. So Destiny met at the bingo hall with her daddy and her godmama, okay? In New Orleans, we don't say godmother, okay? Everybody else around the world says it. We say nan. Okay? She was with her nan, okay? But I feel like low-key, that was her daddy's old lady, that they had been together for a long time. And y'all know, when women used to have men friends, they would be like, oh, that's uncle such and such, or, which I thought was really creepy. Or, that's my friend, Mr. Earl. Okay? Anyway, that was her daddy friend, Miss Pauline. And it was friends. Okay? That was friendly. So, her dad and Pauline have been besties for over 40 years. Destiny met Pauline when she went to live with her dad, and I think Destiny was around 5 years old. We found out that she has 8 siblings, but one of her brothers, whose name is Terrell, passed away. Her dad was gonna get custody of him, but because Terrell wasn't biologically Destiny's dad, then he couldn't get custody, so he had to go live with her grandmother, and they were like this. And she said her mom raised her until she was 5. She said when she was being taken away, she saw her mom come out of a building, so we know her mom was on drugs, and she was letting them know, hey, that's my mom. And she also said she talked about the custody situation. So she told Miss Pauline, she was like, listen, I called you Pauline for a while. She said, but Destiny had been calling her mom for a long time now. She said, Destiny said she hadn't seen her siblings in 27 years. And none of her other siblings had ever met Rhonda. Rhonda is Destiny's biological mom's name. She said they all went into foster care, for the exception of Destiny and her brother who's deceased. Everybody went into foster care and was adopted. Destiny mom, we found out that when Destiny goes back home, she's going to go visit her siblings, and her mom is going to be there. She said the last encounter she had with her mom was 4 years ago at a funeral, and she said that encounter wasn't good. Destiny said that her mom is hard to get close to, and her mom has a sense of entitlement because she feels like because she's the mom or the mother, she has rights and stakes and all of that. And I'm like, ma'am, you lost all of that when you ran after the crack pipe, okay? And I'm not even trying to be funny. If y'all know my story, y'all know my dad was on drugs most of my life, okay? I and you can't compete with that, my dad never showed up in an entitled type of way. You know, he showed up, we saw him a lot, but yeah, like you come, a lot of older people have that issue, and it's like you feel like because you are some sort of matriarch, that trumps all of the bad things you have done as a parent. Yeah, no, that's not how that works. So then we get to these ignorant ass niggas, okay? Martell, Ken, and Big Fletch. Okay, Big Fletch got some sense. Okay? Let me stop, okay? Because I don't want nobody coming under my comments talking about, you lusted over this lady, man, blocked and do and is. I'm sorry, y'all. So apparently Martell has 2 businesses, a new relationship, and his kids. So you know what, none of that even matters, because it feels like for me Martell has one leg in and one leg out, and the only reason Carlos keep him around is because Carlos like Martell. Okay, Martell has nothing to give but mess, but we keep him around for the mess of it all. So Martell said he hadn't talked to Destiny in a week, and it is what it is. Fletcher tells the guys that his license was revoked, and he tried to help someone, and that person went to commission, and now he can't do real estate for a while. And I just want to say, Fletch, something in the milk ain't clean. It seems rather scammy, okay? Rather scammy, sir, but we know you can't talk about it. You give very little information, okay? That leaves room for interpretation, okay? But it seems a little scammy, okay? And I sure hope you learned your lesson at your big old age. But again, everything is about lessons. So Ken said him and Trish had been up and down. We already know, and he said he had another apartment. Now, sir, Trish said you was living with raggedy ass Will. Okay, I'm so glad we didn't see Will. Okay, y'all know last season I was like, Will was kind of fun. But after we saw his real personality, I was like, oh yeah, no. Anyway, do you live with Will or not? Like, we really need to know. Do you live with Will or not? Anyway, Martell, after listening to Martell and Ken talk about control and controlling women, and Fletcher was like, you can't control another human being. Okay, that's why I like Fletch. Okay, he got sense now. Okay, because he ain't have none then, but he got some now. Okay, I don't know if you got too much Fletch, because you let somebody kick you out your spot, which means you allow somebody to have your license revoked. Okay, because now I got to side eye you, Fletch. I got to side eye you. So yes, Martell and Ken are just, I don't know, they're just ignorant and fine. Tisha, Kimmy, and Destiny. So we're gonna wrap this up in a nice little bow, okay? So Tisha said Kimmy never invites her to Taco Tuesday. She always want to be included. Don't you have your own friends? Can't you go to Taco Tuesday? Can't you create Taco Tuesday at Black? Okay? Can't you? I don't know. Create Taco Tuesday at Black and go to Black. Okay? You have some friends. Call your friends up. No. You want everybody to be team Letitia. Just like Letitia. Y'all want everybody to be on y'all side. Just dodo birds. Just 2 dodo birds. Okay? So Tisha tell Destiny. Destiny arrived. And I will say this. All of the ladies looked really, really good. I enjoy seeing the melanin on the screen. All right? I live. That outfit Destiny had on was really, really cute. That necktie that Kimmy had on, oh my God, that was so cute to me. It may not make sense for everybody else, but for me it was cute. And Tisha has such beautiful brown skin, and her face card never declines. Not taken from the other ladies, but her face card, Tisha's beautiful. And I just wanted to point that out, because I know we spend a lot of time dragging people on this show. But I just wanted to be able to uplift people, okay? And Nell is a nice looking woman. And Trish. Baby, when I tell y'all Trish got body, okay, your girl be in the gym, okay? Anyway, Destiny arrived. Tisha tell Destiny, she felt like she was defending Nell. And Tisha asked, what did I do to defend Nell? What did I say? What did I do? Tisha said, well, I can't remember what you said. She said, well, if you can't remember, then you can't hold my feet to the fire. So Tisha was like, well, yes, I can hold your feet to the fire. And it's like, Tisha, you can't. You have nothing. Okay? You're just throwing things at the wall just to see if something is going to stick. And it's not working. So now you're saying that Destiny made you feel a way. Okay, how did she make you feel? What did she do to make you feel a way? What did she say to make you feel a way? And that's what Destiny was saying in her confessional. If you tell me what I've done, I could go back and be like, you right, I probably did that. Or, girl, that was stupid. Okay, either way, Tisha should be able to voice her concerns. But she cannot. You have issues within yourself, and you're trying to make this everybody else's issue, which is what Destiny said. They're trying to place issue on my doorstep. And she was like, return to sender. Go to hell. So Destiny said, listen, I can't keep apologizing for Tisha's feelings. Tisha also, Destiny also told Tisha, I apologized at the winery, and I'm not going to keep on apologizing. So Tisha said this convo isn't going anywhere because I feel like everything has been I feel. Don't tell me what you feel. Tell me what the truth is. Girl, you better get on my nerves. So Destiny, she said, I feel like I don't want to have this conversation because I feel like you will go back and say they ganged up on me. No, that's something you would do. That is something you would do. That's probably why Destiny's gonna eat you up at this table and say when y'all get into this argument, child. The rest of this season is gonna be a hot mess. Okay? But I'm here. And Destiny said, I'm a grown ass woman. I'm not finna be doing all of that. I'm just not. Tisha said, Tisha is all in her feelings. Destiny said, they both Tisha and Kimmy have imaginary issues that they're trying to land on her, but they can't seem to verbalize. Now, Kimmy knows what Tisha is doing is wrong. Kimmy doesn't say anything. The only time she says anything is when she's in her confessional. But this is the second time she says something about, I want to say, what did she say in her confessional about Tisha? I told y'all Tisha was outside. Something. I don't know what that means. But yeah, she said it in this episode. And she said it in the other episode before they went on break. That's the only thing. Kimmy sits there and she enables Tisha's behavior. Tisha wants to be the only person. Let me rephrase that. Tisha wants a yes ma'am. And the only yes ma'am she have is Wanda. Because Wanda backs her up, good, bad, or indifferent. And I like Wanda. But I do think when Wanda does that, I think it's wrong. I think Wanda is not level-headed enough. I don't think Wanda is, she don't have control over her emotions as well. That's why she goes off the way she does. Wanda has no self-control. So that's why she's able to go at people the way she go at people, and instead of just having a conversation. The only time Wanda have some sort of sense is when it comes to Marceau and these niggas. I be 10 toes down for Wanda in that area. But when she's taking up for Tisha, your grown daughter who's in her 40s, I am like, yeah, no. You literally went to Bessemer to tell your mom about the arguments you've been having with Ms. Nell. Because again, Nell lives rent free in your head, and so does Destiny. And your mom will come to your rescue. This is not the first time she did it. We all know she do it. And that was another reason why Tisha couldn't keep up with that argument with Destiny, because Tisha didn't have no legs to stand on. Like, girl, what? I don't know. She had no legs to stand on. So you knew you didn't have a real fight with Destiny. You was just throwing stuff out there and waiting on something to stick. And it sounds like production. You let either you really have an issue with her that you just can't seem to verbalize. I don't know. You better find it on type it on Chat GTP. Okay? I don't know. Or it sounds like production is in your ear, and you're going to do whatever production tells you, because you're a production's puppet, just like your mother. Anyway, that's all I got. That is all I got. Okay, I did not mean for this review to be this long, but I just had a little bit of stuff I had to say, just a little bit. I will say this. Married to Medicine will be uploaded tomorrow. What is it? Love and Hip Hop Tuesday. Wednesday is the mid-season finale for Sisters, and I think House of Pain had their I don't know if that was their season finale last week, but if not, I'll be reviewing House of Pain. Friday, I will review Bell Collective and the Beverly. No, Friday. I'm sorry, y'all. Friday is my Healing Out Loud segment with my cousin Courtney. It's at 8:00, y'all. So be there or be square. And then I'll give the other reviews on so yeah, my phone was ringing. I had to answer my phone real quick. But anyway, Friday is the Healing Out Loud segment with myself and my cousin Cole. Right after that segment, we're going to turn around and go live for the Married to Medicine reunion looks on Friday. Do I have a time? No, I might have to put 10:00. I don't know, 9:30ish. We gonna try to go for 9:30. But yeah, that's going to be on Friday. Other than that is all I got. This is your girl Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.